Jessica here. Just finished Cloud Atlas. Just watch how sad this whole ending intro is. It's so sad. It's so sad. And I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. Here's a cigarette. Take a cigarette. Do you have a lighter?
No, I thought you had a lighter.
I can't find my lighter. Can't find my lighter, y'all. We're gonna find it soon, though.
Finding lighters.
I had one.
Well, there probably is, yes.
There's still no lighter.
We tend to have like 4 or 5.
Oh, let's go on an adventure to find a lighter. It's gonna be great.
There's that lighter that I thought that you had.
Oh, the black one. So, this movie is definitely worth a long-ass discussion. Am I right?
It is most certainly. Like, I have not seen a movie that warrants so much of a discussion in a long time. Like, it asks you so many questions, and that's what a movie should do. It should make you think about what it's actually saying. It should not just tell you what it means.
By the way, we are not warranting smoking of cigarettes. We are just doing it because it makes us happier. So if
I'm doing it against truth commercials, but, you know, whatever. I'm doing it against a smoke-free America. But beyond that, this movie, if I'm going to segue from something completely redundant and ridiculous into something relevant, is actually pretty thought-provoking in the sense that it makes you think about what, you know, is relevant.
wow, that is the most redundant sentence I've ever
Exactly,
heard in my life.
you
But
know,
that's what this movie is about. Because this movie is about full circles. It's about thinking about things. It's about metaphysics. If any of you know anything about metaphysics, then you'll understand. It's almost like Zen-like. It's hard to explain.
Ooh, yes.
Because talking about it is almost pretentious.
Exactly. You could break this movie down on a very, like, superficial level, like I attempted to do it sometimes, where I was just like, I'm just so tired of seeing the
Let's
same
talk about it
characters
at a
playing.
pretentious level so some people will be able to understand. No offense to the people who see this movie and thought that it was shit, because it was definitely not a blockbuster. It was definitely a fail. So let's just speak in the way that the people who saw this movie and hated it, or thought to see this movie and didn't watch it, will understand. All right.
Honestly,
so on a superficial level, it's about everything connecting, and this is what disappointed about me, you guys. Okay, so this whole NPR interview was terrible, and I feel like that's why a lot of the people who should have watched this movie didn't watch it, is because this NPR interview was this person saying, oh, obviously, I've already heard about metaphysics, and it's super cheesy how they say that everything connects to everything. They made it so simple. They're like, oh, it was just very obvious the way that they said, you know, the world connects and our atoms are breathing through each other and la-di-da. But it really, like, didn't connect on a personal level. And this NPR person, whoever it was, I'm going to look it up later, but this NPR interviewist who critiqued this movie did a terrible job, because once I heard their analysis of the movie, I thought, wow, this movie must really suck. Like, it must be like something that hipsters would watch, but in a very, like, superficial way. But he did not do a good job of explaining the movie at all.
well, I mean, I just feel like on a superficial level, yeah, there were things to pick apart. Sure, there were things to pick apart. But if you really saw what the movie was for what it was, there was multiple layers that, like, built this movie up in such a way that, like, every layer always seemed to build on, as if notes, building chords in, like, this one
very
symphony.
musical.
Yeah. I mean, and they talk about the Cloud Atlas Sextet, and it's like they're obviously building this symphony of a song.
Sextet.
Yeah. Did I say sextet or sextet?
You said sextet.
Same difference. And
Sextet.
Sextet, yeah.
Sextet.
The Cloud Atlas Sextet. The whole movie was basically that. Like, it was basically they were building these 6 stories on top of each other, and the notes always seemed to coalesce into these chords that built this further story.
By the way,
of what the meaning.
Speaking of the movie soundtrack, it was so interplayed into the movie because if you watch it, it's really cool because like there's a character who writes a symphony with another man, and the whole symphony that they write is basically the whole symphony that's playing throughout the whole thing, and it's beautiful and it's so intricate. It's almost jazzy, but like very almost John Williams in the way that it's like
I mean, and I feel like that's how they
really
build.
Cool.
That's how they build
It's
the theme
really
to
good.
the
It's very
film.
emotional. It's so emotional.
That's how they build the theme to the movie, like not so much metaphorically, but like in that same sense, sort of, where it's just sort of like they build the theme musically on top of, like, you're visually being presented with these ideas, but at the same time, one of those ideas is explaining to you what that auditory representation is, so that you understand when these key moments are happening in the story.
The music
you feel
explains it to you
Yeah.
as you're going. It's so beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. So fuck that NPR interviewist. Or not
Honestly,
interviewist. Because there was no interview. Why do I keep saying interview?
It's not a film to be seen on a superficial level, and I feel like that's how it was presented. Don't see it on a superficial level. Read into it. Feel the movie. Don't just see the movie.
Don't be a superficial goddamn hipster when you're watching this movie, okay? Because it's a really good goddamn movie. It's almost zen.
Beautifully shot.
Beautifully shot.
Well written.
It's beautiful. Well written. Beautiful soundtrack. Don't look too into it, but at the same time...
Complex without constantly trying to mindfuck you all the time.
Don't feel mindfucked by it. Because it's not supposed to mind...
It's not going to. If you expect it to be, it's not going to mindfuck you.
I feel
it's
like
just going to intrigue you if you want to think about something.
Exactly. The only people who are going to be mindfucked by this movie are the people who've seen The Matrix like 3 times and think about it way too much and think that their lives are in The Matrix. So, if you are in the real...
Like those Australian scientists. What the fuck's up with that?
So, if you are living the real life and not expecting to see something that is actually going to happen to you, and you just want to see something that's a beautiful piece of art, then watch it. Peace out, David and Jessica, movie reviews. Ow!